Sorry guys, I'm a minute, 3 minutes late. I was sitting down here getting ready to do this live stream and I realized I didn't have a microphone on. So I had to scurry real quick and get the mic going. All right. So I want to do a short little live stream because anytime you do something new or anytime you change things, people get a little freaked out. And in all actuality, I'm not changing anything, really, but I'm doing something new. So I wanted to give kind of a way to explain that. So, and I figured an interaction type video would be the best. I thought about originally just doing a normal video. Normal videos tend to do better as far as they hit more people than the live streams. But I figured the interaction would be better because you're going to ask questions that I didn't think of. So let me get 1 second. How's everybody doing here? I missed the Sunday live stream last week, or last month, and I'll explain that why in a second. But we're going to do one this Sunday. I talked to Angel. She's kind of into it. I mean, as much as she could possibly be into doing anything record related. She likes it, but not too much. Okay. Okay, so yeah, so I'll tell you, I haven't been doing a ton of videos lately, and I'll kind of explain why. I was getting my teeth cleaned 2 months ago, and I'm getting my teeth cleaned, and the dentist is all like, well, there's a little white spot here on your tongue. This doesn't, I'm exaggerating here, but he's like, this doesn't look too good. So he sent me to a surgeon. That took a while. I had to get my tongue biopsied. They cut my tongue. They talk about biopsy as a little tiny little, yeah, it was 3 stitches. It wasn't that tiny. So long story short, they did a biopsy. They test for cancer. It was nothing. Long story short, but that kind of had me a little bit freaked out to where it was kind of hard to be motivated to do live streams. So that's what happened there. But, that's over with. Everything was great. So I'm excited for that. And now I've got a whole slew of videos that I'm back on making because this website feature, the VIP membership, for months I've been working on this because this was a big overhaul on the website itself because everything is integrated into the website. And on a side note, this is something that I did 3 years ago in 2019. So this isn't anything new. This was something that I did 3 years ago that was implemented. It was really successful, but I had to stop it because the infrastructure to maintain it wasn't in place. So 3 years ago, I had a Patreon, and you essentially had the ability to do the same thing, same as the VIP, but you got less. You got a discount, and then that discount, essentially I had to manually create a discount code for you, and it was just convoluted, and I would have had, just for the few people I had that did it, it was a full-time job in itself. So this was something that I was able to implement, and the computer, the website itself does all the work. But it's in a way something I had been wanting to do since 2019, because I started it in 2019. If you go back to some of my oldest videos, in the beginning of the video, you'll hear me talking about my Patreon. This is, again, 2019, 2020. If you watch the beginning of some of those videos, you'll hear about it. But yeah, it went away, and now that I've got the infrastructure in place, it's back. Okay. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate the well wishes, guys. It was something I thought about just mentioning on the YouTube channel when I did that live stream, when I did that new arrival video. I told you guys I had stitches in my tongue, but I tried to forget about it until I got the results back. So I didn't want to mention it because then as I was checking comments, there would be comments about it. So I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what the deal was. You had hair and no beard. Yeah, well, the life of a business owner. Constantly, you lose follicles every day. Yeah, it was kind of funny too, because I got to hear what people speculated that might be an issue, you know. And Michael says, I thought Angel socked you with a frying pan. That's not too, I mean, that's highly believable. I mean, I highly believe it. You guys should as well, because that is always a possibility. What's up, Darren? 4 a.m. in Australia. You're a trooper. Let's see. So, yeah, so I wanted to talk about the VIP. Again, I'm going to do a regular live stream this Sunday, me and Angel. I'll get that scheduled. But I wanted to talk about the t-shirt contest, which, man, I'm really shocked I'm getting slack for. Seems like YouTube's a funny place. You never quite know what people's reaction to what is going to be. But, you know, I did the t-shirt contest, which, again, is something that I spent months thinking about. People suggested, maybe even years, people suggested it to me. But I wanted to do that because I think it's a cool concept. And people have already sent in a lot of ideas. Some are just basic on a sketch pad. Some are ideas that are ready to go. I'm really more looking for the ready to go ideas, but I'm going to put in the YouTube community tab, I'm going to try to post them all, and I'm going to do a poll, and I'm going to have people vote on it. This is not replacing my existing logo. This is just like a limited time t-shirt. I thought it'd be fun. You know what I mean? So, you know, people are sending me their ideas. I'm going to post them on YouTube. We're going to have a poll. I'm going to do a limited time t-shirt with it. Somebody's going to, yeah, I think it's cool. But let's see here. But the response has been really weird. I think maybe because people are snowed in right now, you know, lots of people are buried under 4 foot of snow, that they're just home, you know. And I get a little bit curmudgeonly when it's 50 degrees outside because, you know, I'm in Arizona. 50 degrees is cold. I'm not used to it. So I can only imagine with, you know, like a minus 20 wind chill might be. I would never get out of bed. It would be bad times for everybody around me. So, yeah. Okay, so when will the last month of YouTube membership be? So I got to figure out how to transition that over. But essentially what I'm going to do is there is a blog spot on the website. Let me pull this up. So that blog spot is going to be exactly the same thing as the YouTube was. And that was never really wildly successful. So I'm just going to consolidate it into that. I don't want to be having like 9 different memberships. That's not what's going to happen. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to where I can move that over. And I got some ideas, but essentially you'll go into the blog post and all of that information that was on the YouTube premium membership, which is the $1.99 a month, that's just going to be on there as something included with the website membership. But I'll kind of go over it. And I think really, if you're buying a lot of records from me, first of all, or in general, I think this is like a no-brainer. You know, I'll explain what it is. It's $14.99 a month. You're getting 10% off of in-stock items, vinyl. You're getting access to a used section that I've always had a used section on the store, but it's not really been maintained. I hired a guy specifically to list stuff on the website. It's extremely time consuming, and I never wanted to put a $29.99 record, a $20 record on the website for that reason. It just never made financial sense. But that's going to be a part of this. Unfortunately, the 10% won't be on in-store purchases. It's only on the website. It's 2 different platforms. So that's kind of the reason for that. But it's on the website. So, but there'll be a special used section on the website. And I'm essentially going to put the stuff that I know everybody wants. I've got about a stack of 20 records that are going up today. And it's like VG++, Verve, Bill Evans. It's like I've got a first pressing Prince Purple Rain in the shrink with the hype and the poster, like minty copy. You know, it's going to be stuff like that. I've got like a mint copy of the Cars Candio in the shrink with the hype sticker. It's going to be the good stuff, the high-end audiophile stuff, the high-end records, but it's also going to be the more desirable used records. I'm going to create a section specifically on the website, a used section that's going to have those items in it. So, you know, it's going to be the stuff everybody wants. Oh, I got a David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, the reissue that uses the 30th anniversary all analog master. Like, I know that's a record people want. That's going to go on the website for that used section. So it's going to be, as I'm getting collections in, it's going to be like the most cherry stuff, clean. The premium stuff, of course, as well, like I've been doing, but it's going to be a lot of that cherry stuff that doesn't necessarily go for a ton of money, but is extremely desirable. You know, first pressing, Steely Dan, Can't Buy a Thrills, clean, that kind of stuff is going to go in the used section. You know, a lot of people, if you've been collecting records for like 30 years, you're probably listening right now and saying, you know, like, what the hell do I need Purple Rain, a real clean near mint copy of Purple Rain? Well, if you're in Europe, for instance, and you've been doing this a couple years, like, that's not an easily obtainable record. So there's a place for it. But the thing is, more than anything, look, if you buy $150 in records from me a month, it pays for itself. If you buy $200, you're getting a discount. It's kind of my way of doing a loyalty program that is fully automated. I don't have to do anything. You know, a lot of loyalty programs are like, you have to like earn points. You have to manually redeem those points. It's convoluted. Other stores in the area do it here in Phoenix. I don't want to do anything like that. I want something that's completely 100% automated. And that's what this is. Rather than just giving you know, I'm not a discount store. I'm not just going to give everything away. So like, I'm not going to do that. But this is kind of, that's what this was modeled after, a loyalty reward. And it's something I got close to pulling the trigger on, and I'm like, you know, I just don't know if this is a good idea. There's like no profit in new records. Do I want to give what little profit there is away? My wife Angel was actually the one who pushed me into doing this. She's like, look, we've got a lot of loyal customers. They order from us every single week, and you need to do something for them. And that's what this is. I've got a lot of customers I've got guys that order literally every single day. Granted, it might be a $50, $60 record, but they're online on their lunch break or something, and they're ordering every single day, and this is kind of going to help them big time. You know, you spend thousands of dollars. If you buy only a few records from me, maybe you'll buy a few more because you're getting a discount. You know, I find this as a benefit for people. And on the side note, nobody has to do any of it. If you're not buying records, it doesn't matter. I'm going to still do everything exactly the same, but I actually plan on doing more content. So how about a subscription that makes shipping to Canada reasonable instead of a $40 record? The problem with that is I can't do it, and it has nothing to do with me. Like, my mailer is £1. I'm not going to ship anything if it's going to come to you in pieces. There's no point. I'd rather not sell it because you don't want to deal with getting a banged up record, and I don't want to have to deal with dealing with a banged up record. So my shipping box itself weighs 15 ounces. You add a record into that, you're over 2 pounds. By the time you're doing packing materials, the box, and the record, it's over 2 pounds. So I can't cost effectively get a record to Canada without throwing it in, like, you know, one of those 10-cent white mailers. That's the problem. So if you're buying records from me, you want to buy 4 or 5 records to Canada. Like, it almost costs the exact amount of money to ship 20 records to Canada as it does to ship 4 records to Canada. And it almost, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's kind of the equation. Oh, so that's the thing. How easy will it be to cancel the membership? It's super easy. It's all intuitive on the website. If you subscribe to the membership, it's going to automatically attach the discount to all of your orders, so you don't have to do anything. When you log in, there's a membership tab. If you want to update your credit card, it's all available to do on the membership tab. If you want to cancel, you click a button. It's as easy as you're possibly going to get. All can be done by you. You don't have to contact anybody. It's all done directly on the website. So, makes sense? Maybe? But I've got the first stack of records ready to go up in the used section today. Like I said, I put about 4 up last night, but it was just higher end stuff that I had planned already. This first batch of records, when I get into the store, you know, normally we're open. Somebody asked where Angel's at. Angel's at the store. She opened it up. We opened 32 minutes ago. When I leave here, I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to start working on this. So that first batch of records, it's like 20, 30 records, will be up in 3 or 4 hours. Someone says, sounds good. The only thing stopping me is 15 bucks a month is kind of steep. Like I said, you buy $150 worth of new records, used records, whatever you buy on the website, it pays for itself. And, you know, it sucks, but it's 2023 and $150 in new records is like 4 records. You know, if you're a record guy who's buying a lot of records, it's 4 records a month is not a ton of records. I mean, but again, I could be totally, that could just be me personally. Maybe 4 records to a lot of guys is a lot of records, but 4 records to some people is like, you know, a day at the record store. No, nothing is changing on the website. Like, everything is exactly the same price-wise. Nothing changes for anybody who doesn't do this. You buy on the website like normal, nothing changes. This isn't some bullshit sale like they have at Macy's. I don't know, can I say that? In my opinion, does that prevent me from getting sued? This isn't like half off, twice the price. This is nothing like that. Everything price-wise is going to be exactly the same. The retail is the retail. That is exactly the same. The used records are going to be priced exactly the same. That doesn't change. It's just going to be a discount on what you'd be paying normally. So that's, you know what I mean? That's what it is. Let's see. So it will be there. It will be any kind of notification when new or used records are added, or will they be added or pre-specified times? My goal is every single day for during business hours between 11 and 7 is to get records up. Every single day. Maybe it'll be 10 records, maybe it'll be 30 records, maybe it'll be 5 records. But my goal is to have records up every single day. I don't want to have a notification feature because I don't want to drive people nuts. If I list 20 records, I don't want people to get 20 notifications. You know what I mean? Because they're done one at a time. Now, if I get a big batch of something cool, I'll put a blog post up. You can go in that section that says members blog. So, you know, I've got that, but I don't want to drive people crazy either. Will I get VIP early first spots for record store day? Yeah, I would feel scuzzy about selling that, but also it's against record store day's rules. There are stores that I've seen in the past, which I think is cool. They'll actually, for charity, they'll auction the first spot. So they'll do like silent auctions, and whoever pays the most money for a specified charity, it's a donation to the charity, they'll get to go first in the line. Other stores have done that. Record Store Day doesn't seem to mind that. I've never done that, but short of that, I don't really foresee getting away with doing that. Analog City says, I like buying from you because you're an honest businessman looking out for my interest. The problem is a lot of records are always sold out. Okay, so 2 years ago, that became a problem during the pandemic. That's not really a problem now. And if it is sold out, put a restock notification in, because I've got so many restocks in the store right now that every bin is brimming. Because for the past 2 years, I've been without about 65% of my inventory. Like what I normally carry, maybe 65 to 75% of those titles. I'm talking just normal Dark Side of the Moon, Rumor, you know, all that stuff has been out. You couldn't get it. Smashing Pump, it's all been gone. That is changing dramatically. Things are getting printed at a faster pace. There's a lot more capacity out there, and they're staying in stock. The craziness, the FOMO is starting to subside. Now, maybe I'll underorder something, so you got to put a restock notification in if it's a new arrival, but I typically get all those titles back the next week because I do restocks every single week. So are locals going to see fewer used records in the bin? If you've seen my back room, you couldn't possibly ever think that. The stuff, and I don't just have a back room of like dollar records and trash. That $100,000 collection that I bought 2 years ago, I haven't even touched it until this past week. You'll notice a lot of the videos that I'm doing showing like what's coming home. It's from that collection. Like it was a $100,000 collection that sat for 2 years untouched. I bought a $90,000 box set collection. I've only processed about 40% of it, and I'm not even anywhere near processing the other batch. That Tucson collection with those almost the entire Blue Note catalog in there, I've only processed a small fraction of that. I've got collection, and I bought another collection. I bought another jazz collection a week ago. I haven't even showed anybody that. It was an audiophile. I went to a guy's house. He unfortunately passed away, but I bought it from his wife. It was like a vintage system, like a pair of Mac monoblock MC75s. All Mac. It was an all Macintosh vintage system. Old Empire turntable, a vintage VPI Scout. I bought the record collection. Like, that's just on top of the pile. I buy way more records than I could ever sell, and it's getting to the point where I gotta I hired somebody specifically to get more into the store. The only thing that's preventing me from getting more things into the store now is there's no place to put it. Okay. I got to get an upcoming auction schedule again because of the tongue thing that kind of depressed me a little bit and took me out of commission in a way. Why is there so many bad reviews on the Discogs? I don't run the Discogs. Ben does the Discogs. Ben is like an old school record guy. He's kind of a curmudgeon. You know, you ever go in a record store like in the 90s and most record stores were like inconvenienced by you coming into their store? Ben actually worked in record stores in the 90s. So, I don't do the Discogs. He grades everything. He lists everything. It's done specifically by somebody else. I oversee it as much as possible, but Discogs is not my avenue of selling. I don't put anything, except for singles, I don't put any premium items for the most part on Discogs. What I'm putting on Discogs is desirable, lower grade records, you know, VG or G Plus Blue Notes that are beat to snot, that are worth money, but I'm not going to sell a VG Plus record in the store that's going to sound like horrid. I won't sell that in the store, but it's worth money and people want to pay for it and they buy it on Discogs. So that kind of stuff goes on Discogs. The premium stuff, I refuse to sell the good stuff on Discogs. For the most part, it's the stuff that I don't want to sell in the store. That makes sense. I know that's not the best answer, but that's what it is. Let's see. It's not the Led Zeppelin turquoise is not definitive like the Ludwig. The Ludwig is like not even. There's nothing close. The Led Zeppelin one, you can get the classic records and pretty much probably be just as happy. Will you ever create a new or used AAA section in your store or webpage? I mean, the used section is going to have a lot of that. The used section is going to have a lot of that. Like, for instance, I mentioned that Ziggy Stardust that uses the 30th anniversary. Like, the reason I'm putting that up is because I know it's desirable and I want to put that, you know what I mean? So I'm going to alert people like, hey, I got this really, you know near mint. Ziggy Stardust that's using the all analog master. That's something I would normally never put on the website. So there'll be that kind of stuff up there. So every record store in my town has a prison vibe. None of the employees want to be there. So I try to hire let me grab some water. I try to hire non-record store people to actually work at my record store, because they have a new, young, fresh vibe, personality. They're happy. Because in my experience, the guys who are really knowledgeable, are really good at doing this, are kind of your old school record guys. And they have an old school record guy personality, very similar to High Fidelity. And that's just the truth, okay? But that's what you need if you want somebody who is really, really knowledgeable on records. That's just what is out there, you know what I mean? You're not going to find a nice, personable 18-year-old who's just wonderful in every sense of the imagination and they're going to be record experts. I mean, they're out there probably, but there are not as many of them out there as there is old curmudgeon record store guys. Do you know what I mean? So that's the nicest way I could say it, but that's just the truth. So if you want to find guys that are extremely knowledgeable and they know what they're doing and they know what they're looking at and they know what near mint is and they know what a Ludwig is and they know what they should be looking for when they get a copy of Yesterday and Today, the Beatles, you know, those guys are your older school employees. So there's some information in the dead wax. So originally you could get it as the Ziggy Stardust was a 30th anniversary. It came with a bonus DVD audio. They took the metalwork from that and they used it on some subsequent represses. The dead wax is the same, so that's how you signify, you know, what you got to look for that same dead wax. It's like, you know, I can't off the top of my head, I don't know, but it's like S something something something, or, you know, whatever the dead wax is. That's what you're looking for. I'm assuming when that stamper broke, they just recut it from a digital file. Let's see. Yeah, Herkimer said the current pressing of Ziggy Stardust switched to the digital file, even though they use the same sleeve. Yeah. You can do the membership thing now on the website. Like I said, if you buy records or plan on buying records, if you buy $150 worth of records, it's like a discount. You're gonna save money. Like Akos, I'm gonna call him out here. Akos in the comments, Akos buys a lot of records from me. He's gonna save money. It's just no brainer. He's gonna save money with it because of what he buys. And most of the guys that are buying it will. And I'm finding some people that only buy from me every now and then, they're gonna probably subscribe and then just buy from me some more. When will the jazz, you know, Jazz Bum Mike, if I could actually do it, I would, but the labels are so stringent on what they license out now, it'd be pretty much impossible for a new company to get their foot in the door. Because now, with vinyl being as hot as it is, they just do everything themselves. And the only people getting titles are relationships from labels that have been around for a long time. But if I had the ability to do titles, if I could get it and do it the proper way like I did with the Wild Times, I would totally do it. Maybe I wouldn't be doing 20 titles, but I would do titles. I would thoroughly enjoy doing it. I just don't think that's a possibility. Harry's Music Room. Do you have a copy of Stevie Wonder, I Just Called to Say I Love You? Yeah, that's the old school from High Fidelity. Will there be exclusions from your discounts for new LPs? Everything that is in stock will be discounted. And it's sleeves and it's other things. The reason I didn't do equipment is because a lot of equipment is price locked from the manufacturer, like an iPhone. You're not allowed to have a sale on brand X unless they tell you you can. Do you know what I mean? That's a manufacturer restriction. So I can't do it. But records aren't price fixed, you know. As a retailer, you could sell a Tone Poet for whatever you want. So anything that is in stock. And the reason I don't do pre-orders right now is because it's a system limitation. That might change a little bit in the future, but it's a system limitation. Do you ship to Canada? Would there be an import fee issue? I mean, you're going to pay import fees no matter what country you buy from. You know, your invoice is going to be the price you paid, so it's going to be less than 10%. The Chet Baker Sings will come back. Grant Green came back, which was another title that was going for over $100. It wasn't quite as expensive as the Chet Baker Sings title, but it's going to come back. The problem is they're just, I think I might have froze. They're just, hold on a second, let me check this out. Let's see, what's going on? Let me check the settings, guys. Video, stream, output. You guys dropping frames over there? Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so let's see. Mike, what's the best sounding moaning reissue? Hands down, the classic. It's $26, 20 whatever it goes, 20 some odd dollars. Unbelievable. Any word on the ERC Peppa Pig / My Little Pony release? No, not that I'm aware of. MoFi, people are asking about the next one steps. I really don't know. Sometimes things get sprung on me as well, like that Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I had no idea that was coming. That was just like right out of the blue. It's like, hey, how many do you want of these? This is shipping. And it's like, this is something that's been in the catalog for a couple of years. So when it finally comes, it gets, you're like, huh? I wasn't even thinking about it. Appreciate it, Jason. Thank you. Let's see. Great idea. I joined this morning. One potential problem I see is you put 10 LPs per a day and only have 100. Yeah, the thing is, I've got access to a lot of records. I'm going to make sure that the inventory is building. So right now there's very little records in the use section. There's like 140 items. I am going to make sure that number goes up every single day. That's like my commitment in conjunction with the guy I hired to do this, is we're going to get that number up. To do that, if 20 records are selling a day, I'm going to have to put 25. If 25 are selling a day, I'm going to have to put 30. And keep in mind, not everybody's going to want a real clean Prince Purple Rain and the Shrink with the poster. A lot of people might have that already. So it's not like everybody's going to be buying everything. Yeah, I do ship to Europe. But keep in mind, it's like 4 or 5 records is the sweet spot because my mailer by itself is £1. Any insight into the 2023 Tone Poets? I thought they were going to be here. I thought the list was going to be announced mid-December. That never happened. Let's see. Can you speak about how VIP project affects the whatnot used inventory and vice versa? I'm going to prioritize the website because, again, I can control every single thing that happens on theingroove.com. And this program allows me to control every single thing about it within reason. So there's some system limitations, but I'm going to prioritize everything that goes on the website over whatnot. So I do have some deals with some people. I've got a couple consignment auctions I'm running. The Jazz collection, that's a consignment deal that I made with the seller to where everything is sold on whatnot. That Pink Floyd collection I did, that was a consignment deal to where that guy had all that beautiful near mint Pink Floyd stuff. Pretty much it was mostly like Pink Floyd, David Bowie. It was a few bands. It was a bunch of Cherry stuff. I'm going to be doing another consignment auction from this guy, and he has just Cherry stuff. That is going to be a whatnot exclusive deal. But the stuff that is coming into my store, I'm going to prioritize on the website. Tone Poet list pushed to January 15th. Cool. MoFi Silent Way is unbelievably good. Before this whole MoFi situation, that was like a $400 to $500 record because of how good it was. Isn't the Moanin' Music Matter Jazz? But he asked me I mean, that's an older title that's out of print. That goes for like 8 times the money. But again, everything is going to be prioritized on the website, and I'm going to focus on getting things on the website. I've got the Audiophile Sgt. Pepper to redo that shootout, which is significantly harder to get than the Nimbus at the time. Now I'm having an almost impossible time getting the Nimbus. Miles in a Silent Way back at stock. What? That'd be insane. Well, because again, this is a good question. Why the VIP program? Why not keep the status quo? I'd make more money doing that. You know, for you guys who are ordering from me every single week, and you put 2-3 order. I mean, I'll save. Like, I don't have to give anybody a discount, but like I said, I think it was the right thing to do. And it was, my wife pushed me into this. Like, she's like, you know, we got a lot of great customers who buy from us constantly. We need to do something to reward them. This is it. If you buy from me every single week, this is a no-brainer. You're going to save money. You're going to get access to stuff, records that nobody has access to, which people have been wanting forever. But keep in mind, I got to pay a guy, you know, people don't work for $7.25 anymore. You got to pay a guy $20 an hour to do this. So that's a lot more work. Like, I don't need to pay a guy to put Purple Rain on the website real clean in the Shrink, or can't buy a thrill, or AB copy of Asia. I don't need to pay a guy to do that. I got a store. I can put that in the store and it'll sell instantaneously. To do that, I got to pay a guy. So it's like this is a way for me to reward guys who just buy from me religiously, or maybe they want to, or maybe they buy just a little bit. You are going to save money. You are. It's a reward program without being convoluted. It's a reward program without tracking points or any of that. It's just a reward program, but it's also me not just becoming a discount store in a way. You know what I mean? Why not call it the US OBC? In a sense, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be putting on the website, because that's what people are looking for. When you're looking for American records, it's easy. If you got the money, it's not a big deal to buy a copy, if you're in Europe, to buy a copy of the $1,000 record, a clean 13th floor elevators. When you buy a $1,000 record, it's like, what's the big difference? That's not something you go into a store to buy. That's something you go online. That's where you find that kind of stuff. But if you're looking for like a super clean copy of Steely Dan Asia, that's more of a pain to buy than the 13th floor elevators, because the shipping, all of that stuff makes it the cost of the record. So this is a kind of a way to be able to buy that kind of stuff and not be hammered, because you can bundle it up with things. I don't want to give all of Angel the credit. Angel, I came up with the idea. Angel did push me over the edge, because I thought, I said, like, look, Angel, and I told her, like, the economy is going into a tougher time. We just start giving out discounts, like, because used records, by the time I do free shipping and all that, paid a guy to ship it, pack it, you'd be lucky if there's 10% left. So I said, is it a good idea to give away, most of the profit? And that's when she laid out, like, look, we got to do something to say thank you to the people who buy from us all the time. And that kind of pushed me over the edge, if that makes sense. Any news regarding the Analog Productions upcoming Miles Davis Prestige reissues? I think it's just timing, getting jackets made to getting stuff pressed. Let me see. And so Harry says I join. I'll try it and see how it goes. I'm looking for more used titles that are 50 and under, and that's what I'm not gonna stop putting the other stuff on the website, but this is the stuff I want to focus on. It's the titles that never made sense for me to put a $20 record on the website. Why would I put a $20 record on the website? I can sell instantaneously. Why pay a guy $20 an hour, because it takes him 10 minutes to put that on the website, or 15 minutes. Take a picture, build the SKU in the system. But that's the kind of stuff I want to put on there. I'm a little overly excited about the t-shirt design contest. I think it's cool. I mean, I'm seeing designs, killer ideas that I never even thought of. So I'm really excited to see the designs that finally come in, do the poll, and see what gets picked. Again, I should have specified that in the video. I'm not replacing my logo. This is just like going to be an additional t-shirt I sell. Maybe you don't like orange. You don't want to wear an orange t-shirt. Maybe it gives you bad flashbacks of a childhood memory or something. I don't know. It's just going to be something different. Let me try to fix the video. I can probably do this. Maybe this will help. I lowered the image quality a little bit on my end. Let's see if this makes a difference. I'm probably gonna do StreamYard. I think I'm gonna get a StreamYard account, pay the money. That'll kind of balance this stuff out a little bit. But tell me, you'll tell me if this improves. What's the biggest barrier of having your full store inventory available online? I would have to hire 15 people, and it would take them a year to do it. And that's not an exaggeration. So when we did getting the website online in the beginning, because we did it a few years after we opened, I think we started it in 2017 or 2018, that took me and Angel doing nothing else, not processing used records, doing nothing else. That took us 4 months to do. And that was when we had significantly less stuff. Our inventory was smaller. It was extremely time consuming. See, that might be the next t-shirt contest, Harry. We'll get a t-shirt going. I plan on doing this. If this works well, like I like the idea of having like different t-shirts, maybe like a special Christmas or Record Store Day 2023 t-shirt, I like the idea. It's just not something I've been able to do because I'm not, I'm just coming up with good, quick ideas is not my forte when it comes to design. How about a remote personal shopping experience over FaceTime? You'd have to charge for it, of course. I do it in the store, but online, it's kind of a balancing act for me. You got to pay attention to the store and the locals, right, who've been there since the beginning. But also, you want to take care of the people online who support you, right? If you're not in another state, doesn't mean you shouldn't be taken care of. But it is a balancing act between how much time I have available. And then I got to look at my wife and my kids who... It's never, with Angel, I've never spent, I could spend every waking moment with her. It wouldn't be enough time. So I got to balance all of those three things. Every VIP member gets a chance to win 50-yard tickets to the Super Bowl. I'd wonder what that would even cost. To sit in the nosebleeds is what, $5,000 a ticket? Those are probably a couple $100,000 a ticket. That would be cool to go and experience one time. So I get that stuff in so Nadine asked, looking to get used soul and disco records. It does come in, and it typically comes in collections, but I am not going to have as many soul and disco records just because of where I'm geographically located. So I love Arizona, not to knock on Arizona, but let's go back to the era of the 70s. Phoenix might not be considered such a hip town in the 70s. It was more of a country type of vibe. So I can get you all the Willie Nelson records your heart could ever desire, and that's desirable in a lot of parts of the country. Maybe if you're in Maine, you don't have huge access to outlaw country. I got outlaw country coming for days. But finding the soul stuff is difficult, but that is something that I will put on when I can. I'm going to try to put as much stuff as possible. When I buy collections, though, I do get killer collections. For instance, I bought a collection from one of the original, the group was the Monotones. I think it was the Monotones. It was a doo-wop group. Let me look it up. So I bought one of the original members. This was 3 years ago. Let me Google it. They had one big hit. Let's see. The Monotones. I think it was the Monotones. Yeah, the Monotones. The Book of Love was the big hit. I bought a collection from one of the original Monotones. One of the original Monotones, his collection was killer. It was like 6,000 soul records, mostly stuff that was given to him, and it took me a year to get that stuff into the shelves. When I get collections like that, that stuff is going to go on the website and it's going to be killer. I'm also going to try to hit George Benson's collection a little bit more for this to try to get some soul implemented on the website because his collection was actually, you would think George Benson, and that collection, for instance, is mostly sitting there. I'm about 8 boxes in to 300 boxes of George Benson's collection because it's just overwhelming. But also the amount of crap I have in the back room is overwhelming. But his collection was mostly soul and stuff, you know, the 80s. When he had those big hits in the 70s, he was getting a lot of stuff given to him, probably by labels and artists. They were handing him records. Maybe they were looking for collabs. I'm not sure the reason. But he had tons of great soul and disco 12 inches, because that's kind of the stuff that was probably just being given to him. And they're just like mint, unplayed stuff. And I'm going to try to hit that collection a little bit and get that on here. I'm going to try to work around. Have you seen the pile in the store? It's like what? 6 foot tall, 25 foot wide by 40 foot long. That's the pile of used records I got to get to. So I'm going to try to hit that in general. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Michael, when can we expect the next Whatnot auction? I was planning on doing one this Sunday. I might not do it this Sunday. I might have to push it back a week. But I'm going to be doing them more regular. I got to get back on the regular schedule now that I got my stitches are out and I can talk again. What's the clutch box that you have? I'm taking this to the store and selling it. I don't even know why I have this, to be honest with you. I'm not a clutch fan. This box is sealed. I thought it was cool when it came out. I thought, hey, maybe I'd want it. This was something that came out for Record Store Day. It has like 10 or 12 albums. It's not all their records. It's got an autograph litho in it. I need to just sell that because I've got no use for that. There you go, Harry. You save some of it, man. I want you to be able to pay your bills and eat. Feed yourself. The first run of t-shirt, like limited edition t-shirts. How do you number a t-shirt? It's like a Sharpie? I don't know about that, Akos. Maybe. Yeah, like I said, I'm just not a Clutch fan. I'm not bemoaning the band or anything. They might be great, but it's not. Yeah. I'm going to take that down now because I keep forgetting. But yeah, this is what it is. I mean, it's a really well done linen box. It's called the Obelisk. There it is. It's a whole slew of albums, a signed print, and a slip mat. That will now be on the website come later today as part of the VIP membership. Let's see. I'll answer some more questions if you guys have them, you know, especially about the t-shirt contest and or this VIP membership. I wanted to do this so I can get anything out. And again, if you don't do it, nothing changes for you. If you just casually buy records from me every now and then, I truly appreciate that. My wife appreciates it. My kids appreciate that. Nothing changes. The price doesn't go up. The price doesn't go down. It's business as usual on the website. Pay no attention to it. If you do buy a decent amount of records or you want to, it's an option. Doesn't change my YouTube content. Like I said, the one thing that will change is I have that membership, that join icon on the website. That is going to kind of get funneled off into the VIP membership. Because I don't want to have 17 things going on at once. Handmade artist in-groove t-shirts. Yes, we can get white t-shirts and I can doodle on them for you. That would be a limited edition. Blaine, I don't know of a way I can get 2 records to Canada affordably. Because again, the first record's over £2 with the mailer. The website does, yeah, the 10% off is ultrasonic cleaning. I just implemented that this morning because it was erroneously put in the wrong category. So I updated that. So right now it's all in stock vinyl. It's going to be off the used records as well. It's going to be supplies, sleeves, cleaning fluids, the ultrasonic cleaning. You know, it's going to be pretty much, which is most of what we sell. Not the equipment because of the reason I explained earlier. Let's see. How long does something stay in your cart? So the cart, unfortunately, we're not Ticketmaster. So stuff does not stay in your cart if it sells out. If it sells out, it's going to be removed from your cart. So, you know, you get free shipping if you're, excuse me, in the United States, you get free shipping over $50. You get a few records in there. Click shipping, get it shipped. If you have multiple orders you want to have shipped together, you can always include that. But no 10% off an Air Force Zero. Sadness. Yeah, I can see your pain. If 10% off of an Air Force Zero is what, 50 grand? Yeah, $50,000 discount. So you can go back and hear the beginning of this VIP. I'll tell you again one more time. So the VIP, it's just if you buy a lot of records from me or some records, you're going to get $14.99 a month on the website. It's all managed from the website. You're going to get three things. 10% off all in-stock records and the other stuff. You're going to get access to exclusive used records that are only available on the website. It's going to be a lot of higher-end stuff, but it's also going to be a lot of like first pressing cars, Carole King Tapestry, Steely Dan, Led Zeppelin records, just the lower price stuff that never made sense to put on the website in the past. And you're going to get access to exclusive, like a blog post that I'm running that'll have links to videos that I haven't published yet. Similar to the VIP membership, or similar to the join feature I have on there now. Is it worth me being a VIP member if I live in the UK? Do I gain? If you buy records, but again, it doesn't make sense to buy records from me. Well, actually, in the UK, you can't even buy records from me because of your VAT laws, unless it's over $200. So it does make sense if you're buying records from me, and I ship to the UK all the time, you're going to save 10%. So yeah, it does make sense because your very first order pays for itself, and then you pocket a little money because of the VAT laws. It's got to be over, I think, $190 to ship, because they collect VAT on their side. If it's below that, I would have to collect VAT. It's convoluted. But yeah, it's something that it would make sense if you're buying. If you're not, maybe not. Let's see. Anybody here try 2 Embrons on an RT85? I think that'd be overkill. If you want that high end of a cartridge, buy a different table. I often thought that the blue was a little overkill. Not that it's a bad table, but you're going to get big diminishing returns when you put that high end of a cartridge on a table that costs about the same amount of money. Oh, we had a quick visit from Alex Dickey himself, but he's gone now. You know, any local artist you can commission to design a tee. The problem is, I've done it, but they want you to pretty much tell them what you want, and that's not what I want. I want people to come up with their own ideas and introduce me to something that I wouldn't have thought of. Oh yeah, so the VIP membership is totally cancelable. So if you log into the website, you're going to have a portal, and I had one guy already cancel. So I'll tell you what he did. He literally just bought a $200 record that I had on the website, or it's $250. He subscribed to the membership. He bought the record. He got his 10% off, so he saved, what, 15, 20, he saved $22.50. And then he canceled the membership. Now, he'll still have the membership all the way throughout the month, because it doesn't actually move off your account till the end of this month. But his card won't be charged again, and he saved $7.50. Maybe he only plans on buying that one record, but it's really intuitive. It's all built onto the system. You don't have to email. You just log into your membership. So when you log into the website, there's a membership tab. You'll see a place to update your credit card information. You'll see a place to hit cancel. It's super easy. You cancel, you hit a button. I saw your Thriller review on the MoFi website. That's cool. It's kind of a little surreal when I go onto their website and then like you see your face on the bottom right-hand corner. I'm not going to lie, it's interesting. Do we get a better chance of winning the t-shirt contest if no wet t-shirt, Alex, if we become a VIP member? No. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what I feel are the best shirts and I'm going to put them on a YouTube community post and I'm going to have everybody vote on what they choose. So I'm not even going to be the one to pick it. I'm going to have you guys decide what you think is the coolest shirt. Yeah, Jeffrey is kind of reiterating what I said. You know, you don't put Bugatti tires on a Chevy Cavalier that costs the same amount of money. Well, that's not really a car they make anymore, but you get the concept. I don't know about putting a $500 cartridge on a $250 table. $300, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad table or anything. I'm just saying you kind of want to get the most bang for your buck when you do a cartridge upgrade, and having a table that can, you know, isolate, do what's required to get the most out of that cartridge is kind of a requirement. Let's see. But yes, Leon's right. Put anything you want on it. I'm not telling you now what to do. I'm just advice. Let's see. Do you think MoFi would do a 50th anniversary one-step release? I've heard some talk about it. I don't know. I've never heard that till just now. So I don't know if it's serious talk or just people chatting. I can see them going back and doing things differently. Like if you notice the way they've done it, I can see them doing a super vinyl version maybe on 33 of, say, the Santana Braxis. I could see that. How many VIP used records are there now? It's a little over 100. I have not added one record to the VIP section yet. Keep in mind, I started this last night before we closed. I have a stack of 30 records right now that will go on the website today. Today's going to be the very first day I add records specifically for this. So later today, there's going to be 30 or so records. And again, I'm going to be adding new records to the used section every single day, if possible, to the tune of more records on the website in the used section than were there the day before. Is the Tool UHQR delayed? Man, wouldn't that be cool if that was a thing? How to submit designs. So yeah, if you want to do the t-shirt contest, I'm looking for something that says the In-Groove. You know, I want people to know that it's an In-Groove t-shirt. That's really the only requirement. No more than 3 colors, because it's going to be a silk screen shirt. We're not going to silk screen 70 colors. You know what I mean? It's not a printed shirt. It's a silk screen shirt. And just send it to orders@theingroove.com. Just submit a design. And so I'm looking for something like a PDF or something I can submit to a graphic house and say, all right, this is my design. I want you to put this on X amount of shirts of this color. So I've gotten some designs. So around the 13th, 14th, or 15th of January, I'll put that post. I'll put that post up. You guys will decide. You should have an annual subscription at a lower per month cost. I might do that actually. I've kind of kicked it around, but that's going to be a few months out. I might have options for longer periods, but I want people to feel comfortable with it. I want people to kind of see what they're getting, be comfortable. I don't want somebody to subscribe and say this wasn't for me and be upset. So, and plus, you could see how when you do new things, people kind of get a little bit freaked out. It's weird because it's almost like the vibe I got was almost like I feel like somebody, it's like I was getting a reaction like I was taking away from something. Like I was taking something away. Like I'm no longer going to do YouTube videos unless you give me money, or I'm no longer going to do, like nothing has changed. This is just something additional. But I feel like I got a little blowback like this was something was being taken away. And I get that. Nobody wants things taken away from them. This is just going to be in addition to. So, do you know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm going with this. Let's see. But I'll probably add like 6 months, 12 months, maybe in the future, like many people have contacted me about that and want to do that. So that's something I'm probably going to do. But again, there's a lot of, because this is all fully integrated in the website, there's programs, this is fully integrated. This wasn't just something that was done haphazardly. This took a lot of time and website design to get this up and going. It wasn't just, again, this is something I've been working on for a while, not came up with this yesterday and did it. People were concerned because of what happened with 45. I mean, I don't know anything about what he's doing in that sense. I don't know because I don't follow it, but I can tell you, like up front, I know specifically, you know specifically what you're getting from me. And I think the big selling point is you're getting 10% off everything in the store that's in stock. That in itself, I think pays for itself if you buy $150 worth of records a month. If you do not, you want the used stuff, like you are getting, and this is the only, like I said, everything else is going to change. That $1.99 join, that's going away. But this is, again, I feel like I'm adding value, not taking away from anything. I'm not going to be doing members only live streams. I don't want anything to change in that regard. I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to fleece them out of money for nothing. I want the people that do the thing for $14.99 a month to feel like they're getting something in return. Other than that, you know what I mean? You don't have to do it, and then you're not losing anything. Nobody loses anything. But that's the thing, you know, Ted says it's an over. If you buy the records, join the VIP, you're going to get a discount. It's like our reward program. It's like, you know, Costco. You save money by going to Costco. You pay a little bit of monthly membership, but it's the same thing. Like, does anybody leave Costco paying less than they would at such and such store and feel bad about it? No, they save money. You're saving money. So that's really just all this is. Alex, I just found out about the MoFi in a silent way. I'll be all over that if I can. So after this live stream, I'm going to drive to the store, and that's going to be my first telephone call. Because I think that is one of the best MoFi titles ever to be done. Yeah, the access to the used stuff is a bonus, and that might be a main selling point for a lot of people. Like, look, if you're not wanting to like go hunt out really nice, clean, original first pressings of these American press titles, that might be a selling feature for you. I can't do it on in-store purchases. The systems are not compatible. Yeah, I apologize. It's going to have to be, and again, it's got to be something. I wanted it to be a benefit for people, but I also want it to be streamlined. And actually, that was one of the, I know a lot of, you know, I got friends that own businesses around the valley, and one of the guys that I talked to, that's what he does, is he does a rebate at the end of the year. So you buy from him, and he's a collectible store as well, but he does like a rebate. And I'm like, well, how do you do that? And he's like, well, we manually have our accountant go in, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're done with that. Like, it's a major process. So I did this in a way to where it's like a employee program, or it's like a discount program without any legwork for me or for you. Hey, Mike, offer a free calculator. Maybe that will put out some fires. Yeah, it's the example of the guy, like I said, buying the membership and then canceling it right away just because he wanted to buy the one item. That kind of tells you right there, it's going to make a lot of sense for a lot of people. So I listened to the Crosby, Stills and Nash One Step in the store. I don't want to give a full-blown review on it. I did bring it here. I'm going to do a standalone on it. My initial impression wasn't like, I wasn't floored when I heard it, but that was in the store with not my main system, with two speakers that are 45 feet apart. But it wasn't like Thriller where I put it on. I was like, whoa. I wasn't immediately blown away, but I need to go to the house, listen to it, compare it against other titles that I have, and then go from there. So all I have is like an initial gut reaction from listening to it 3 feet away from my right speaker and 48 feet away from my left speaker. Let's see. Will non-subscribers be allowed to see what is being offered on the VIP list? You know, in a way, yes. So originally I had it set to where all of the used records were on the front page as I was putting them in, and people would click on them, and when you clicked on it, it would say, nope, you got to be a VIP member to look at this. And I was getting some people calling the store like, you know, what the hell is this? They were confused and they almost felt slighted. So I decided to take it off the front page because I didn't want to, you know, I don't know. I just didn't want to piss people off. I tried doing this in a way that doesn't anger people. But if you search for things, if you do a search on the website for a specific title and it happens to be in that used VIP section, it will populate on the website. Now, I can take it off so where it doesn't, but it will populate on the website. And if you search for something and you click it, it'll make you sign in to buy it. With the VIP, you get 10% off of all in-stock vinyl in the store, and anything over $50 is free shipping. All vinyl. New, used, all vinyl. Let's see, have you ever considered an in-store purchase point platform? It's unfortunately just not, the compatibility is not there. So the platform we use, and granted I had to do additional work to the website to get this to work. I had to hire, you know, a coder to do it. The company spends a lot of effort on online platform. They spend virtually no effort on their POS platform because that's not their forte, but they do have one. No, the VIP doesn't apply to anything but the website because that's the platform. Whatnot is such a different system in the sense that I don't have control over anything. I don't have control over shipping costs, nothing. I auction it, it sells, they pay me, I ship it. That's it. Will you consider applying to pre-orders? That might happen in the future. There's some stuff that has to be worked out in the website. That might happen in the future. You know, we're going to see how this goes. If it's a big flop, to be honest, I'll cancel it. Because one of the things I said to my wife is, I'm like, you know, what happens if it's an issue? Or, you know, what happens if we're, you know, losing too much money? And she's like, well, you're just going to have to stop doing it. You know, and that would really piss people off because I did this program once before when I had the Patreon in 2019, 2020. And when I stopped it, people weren't happy. So it's interesting in the sense to see people upset when you implement it, but then when you stop it, they get equally pissed off. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, but again, as of now, it's only going to be in-store, excuse me, it's only going to be online. I don't have a way to do it in-store. Online, there's a dedicated, curated use section on the website. Very small now. That'll improve. And yeah. Okay, let's, how long I've been doing this? What time is it? Been an hour. Give me we'll do 3 or 4 or 5 more minutes. Again, it's an issue link. I want people to join and because they want to, not because they feel obligated to. And I worry about showing stuff as they see one record they want, and maybe it's a $20 Cars record, and they're like, I got to pay $15 to buy that. I don't want to give off that vibe, if that makes sense. I don't know. VIP right now is only for in-stock items. I'm going to try to change that to pre-orders in the future. It might have to be to where I do it for the future pre-orders. It's just the way the SKUs are built in the system. It's just a system limitation. The way the SKUs are built in the system, the way the platform recognizes them, are not compatible. So I might have to just do some changes going forward. Do you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Again, just I really just want people to think of this as, like a lot of other record stores have, it's just like a rewards program. You go into a local store, a lot of them have frequent flyer cards, reward cards. You accumulate points. Points let you buy free stuff. This is the same thing in a sense that you're going to accumulate a discount. It's just clean and done and right away. That's all it is. But slightly different in the sense that if you don't buy very much, it's not beneficial. Let's see. Again, keep in mind I'm going to do a live stream this Sunday as well with Angel. I know I missed last month, but yeah. Let's see. I might, you know, I don't know. Some things could be tweaked. I might show people. I can make the VIP pre-order, or excuse me, I can make the VIP use section where people could see what's in it, but they just can't buy it. I might try that in the future. Give me some time. I want to get items on there. I want you guys to know that I haven't put anything on yet. I just rolled this out last night. You guys know that and understand it. But if you're just logging on for the first time in 2 weeks to the website and you see there's only a couple hundred items in there, you're like thinking to yourself, like, what the hell is this? Who cares about this stuff? But I need a little time to load things in. And since I haven't even done it yet, I want to give myself a little time. But maybe it is something where I try it out and see how it goes. I'm all for trying things out, but that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this the way it's done, because it's all on the system, it's all on the InGrooves platform, and I control all of it. So I don't, I only have the limitation of what I'm willing to pay a coder to come up with. Let's see. How was your guys' Christmas, on the side note? I actually had a pretty good Christmas. My kids are teenagers and they're starting to get older and they're starting to become, how do I say this in case the wife's listening? They're starting to be easier to be around. So it was good. But I had a good time. It was a good Christmas. Had all the kids over. Gave them a little gifts, gave them a little cash. They were happy. I recorded it. Took the new camera. Made a video. That was fun. Yeah. Yeah, less annoying. That would be good. Less annoying is a good way to put it. I told the mouth story at the beginning of this live stream. Very beginning, like the first 10 minutes. So this will stay posted. You guys can go back and watch it. My daughter tortured me, but she got a good Christmas present. And that's one of the things too, like my kids never really have ever gotten me anything in the past. They've been real good at collecting things, but they're really not in the giving. But that changed this year. I actually got, I got a coffee mug. I mean, and that stuff's, I don't need expensive things. If I want to buy something, if I need something, I'll buy it myself. I've always been okay with that. But I really love the thoughtful gifts, and my kids finally did that. And, I got a coffee mug. I got things that were important to me, which hasn't really been the case. But, so that was exciting. Could just be me. Do your teenagers, for you guys out there around the same age, your teenagers get you stuff? Or, like, because that hasn't been the case for me. I've often thought it odd and somewhat hurtful, but they're coming around. Let's see. All right. All right, so I think that's going to be it, guys. I need to get to the store. I need to get stuff listed so you guys can see what's going on. And yeah, that'll be it. Again, I'll do another live stream. The shipping cost to the European Union is weight-based. The shipping cost to, that's another thing, the shipping cost to the UK is a flat shipping rate. I don't know if you guys knew that. I think it's $60 or $65. If you buy, it's got to be over $190 to buy in the UK because of that. But if you buy 5 records, shipping is $60. If you buy 500 records, shipping is $60. But the rest of Europe, it is a variable rate based on weight. But again, I'll do a live stream on this Sunday. And again, I'll get back into the swing of doing some more stuff here coming up real soon. All right, guys. Appreciate it. Until next time.